Hey guys, today I'll be sharing another little restoration project I've been working on. And this video is also for Keith, who owns this very nice little Moog Realisitc MG-1. So just going to go over it for you, Keith, show you that everything's functioning. For anybody else that watches my videos, feel free to watch. As always, I enjoy you guys watching and commenting and all that good stuff. It's always good to hear from you guys out there. But anyways, Keith, just going to go over this thing. So, first things first, with this one, I opened it up, got rid of all the Moog foam, that nasty foam that Moog used, and it just deteriorates, turns to grease. Of course, you can still see some of it on my table here. Just nasty stuff. But anyways, took care of all that, and I put new sliders, new slider caps, and I also fixed your chassis where it had came unglued. And so what I did, I cut areas out of that old glue and re-glued it. So it's all nice and epoxied there, real nice and tight. You shouldn't have any more problems there. Went to the keyboard, cleaned all the contacts, pulled the keys, washed the keys, cleaned the chassis up, and just went through all the circuitry, replaced all the common failed components, all that good stuff. So got this thing where it's reliable and it's going to play really great for you. I also did a full calibration on it, so it's got a full cal and a 12-hour burn-in. So it's just had plenty of runtime just to make sure things hold up like they should here. But I will show you just kind of what I did. I did one mod, and that is I installed a 1/4-inch jack. I also changed, I did something a little extra for you here. I changed a gain stage resistor, basically a load resistor, and changed the value of that a little bit to give you a little bit more output, a little bit more of that classic Moog tone, which is what they tried to take away on the Realisitc version. But you can see your serial number. Don't ask me why they spaced it like that, guys. I have no clue. It was just something that Moog did for Tandy. It's a weird serial number. So it's 15079. They spaced the 15. So maybe it was a revision run. I don't know. Don't really have a clue. Something else I did too for you here is you had some rust. Your chassis looked good. I didn't see a whole lot of rust in your chassis, but you had 2 screws underneath this thing and they were rusty really bad. Don't know why they were the only things rusty like they were. But what I did is I put you some new hardware down there. Let me get it where I can actually lift it up here by one hand. Kind of hard doing this holding the camera. But you can see your new screws here, and I installed flat washers with locking washers so they shouldn't back out. Should be all good set. I cleaned the underneath the chassis too. You can just kind of see how clean that is. And so it's a really great little synth. The primary issue you had with this one was oscillator 2 wouldn't work. But when I got playing with it, I found out it did actually work. It was just a bad slider. So that's one reason I went on and just replaced the sliders first on this one, because you had a lot of sliders that were just not working. This one actually had lost the wiper. The carbon track was okay, but the wiper was gone. So it had fallen off the actual actuator. And that was a new one for me. I've only seen that maybe, well, I've actually seen that before, but it's been a while. Yeah, anyways, I just want to make you a little video here. I'll go through it and show you that everything's functioning. So let me put the camera on the tripod here, and we'll go through it. Sorry, I'm sure that kind of noise almost dropped my camera there. But anyways, as you can hear, this is both oscillators. So that's both your oscillators there. You'll notice it is kind of hard to get right in tune with the detune sliders. It's the same way on some of the other synths I've played with a slider for the detune. Anyways, that's your oscillators. Your oscillator sync works. We'll go here. Also, the filter tracks the keyboard correctly now. Let me turn off the oscillators here. So tune it up a little bit better. That's both your oscillators on with the filter tracking. Also, your glide works here. Your modulation works for your oscillators. Sample and hold. As you can hear, your oscillators are working really well. Your modulation section is working. We can also modulate the filter. Also, your auto trigger works. You get a real thumpy sound. So anyways, that's working. Also, your polyphonic section is working correctly. Go back here, I'll get it set back up here. So here's your polyphonic section. Just show you all notes are working. So that's your polyphonic section. We'll combine that with the mono oscillators. It's warmed up a little bit since I've had this thing on, so I had to adjust the polyphonic section. Your polyphonic section is probably the most sensitive to thermal. I really love the polyphonic section with the mono oscillators, the monophonic oscillators. You can just do this really cool mix. Anyways, that's your polyphonic section. Your oscillators are working. I'll show you that your noise source works. There's your noise source. You can actually close this filter up. some drum beat like stuff. And what's nice about it, you got a lot more volume, so we can actually crank this thing up a little bit more on the volume control. And I got my amp turned down a little bit too. You can hear it just sounds great. It's got a nice thumpy. So that's your oscillators with noise source mix. We've also got, I'm going to turn it back down a little bit because that is shaking my room. We got the bell tone, which is a ring modulation based off the phase lock loop oscillator used to drive the polyphonic section. That's it. That's really your synth in a nutshell here. They're really simple, but they're really fantastic. I really like the Realisitc design. Actually, I like the Realisitc design over the Rogue because you got all the extra oscillator controls. This is a lot like the Liberation, for anybody that don't know. The Liberation and the Realisitc MG-1 are probably the closest because you got the polyphonic section, but you got more of the Rogue tone. Which is actually very similar to this. They just, like I say, they did some adjustments inside the audio path to, change the sound a little bit. But, it's a really fantastic instrument. And, anyways, Keith, I just want to go over it for you so you can see what you're getting back here. I know it's always good to see what's going out the door before you get it. But, as always, guys, appreciate you watching, and a special thanks to you, Keith, for letting me work on your MG-1 for you. Really do appreciate it, and like I said, if you have any problems in the future, feel free to contact me. This thing has a full bill of health, and I think you're going to be really good and really happy with it here. But anyways, thanks again, guys. Take care.